All right, all right, all right. Let's go. Let's get this show started. What's up, everybody? Let's go. Hey, Lacey, welcome. Welcome, Julie. Just letting everybody in. Give yourself a beat. Cool. Let's go. Let's go. Bringing people in. Just going to wait a second to let people in today. We're going to talk about the Growth Day challenges. We're also going to talk about challenges in general, like taking on new challenges, like designing challenges for yourself and just like a mindset and an opportunity to really crush these challenges coming in your way. So we're gonna get started in just in a second. Just waiting for a couple people to tag on in, and we'll get this started. What's up, Lacey? Hey, Britta. Hey, Marlene. Let's go. It's gonna be fun. All right. Cool, cool, cool. So grab your notes, or just you can take notes to the right on the right sidebar, and hope everybody's having a really great Thursday. All right. And Britta, I'm gonna make you co-host just to let people in if you don't mind, if you're gonna stick around a little bit today, and then I'll hide you here. Cool. Thank you so much. All right. As people come in, they'll keep rolling in. So this is good stuff. All right, cool. So, first off, I hope everybody's had a really awesome week so far. Our team at Growth Day is taking on so many new challenges in general. Like, we're taking on a lot of new work, a lot of exciting challenges that are presenting themselves, but a lot of really great opportunities to make the product better. So, today's growth group is really focused around the existing challenges that are in the platform. And I want to really nail with you how you know when you can take these challenges and use them to your advantage when maybe you're feeling a lack of confidence. Maybe when you're feeling a lack of a little bit of self love, you need a little bit more encouragement. Or maybe when you feel like you've been stuck in the same identity, in the identity that you actually don't want to be in. And we're going to talk about Anthony Trux's identity shift challenge. Or when you're trying to build a little bit more clarity or a little bit more confidence, you can tap into Brennan Burchard's challenge here in the product. And then we also have Mel Robbins' high five challenge, which is more about that self love, that high five, giving yourself a high five in the morning. I want to walk you through these challenges today, answer any questions, and then we'll finish today talking about just taking on challenges and how that can be a rewarding thing for you as you step into this next version or next level of your abilities. All right. So it's going to be fun. So is everybody ready? Ready to get going? Let's do this. All right, cool. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I'm seeing. For all the challenges, you can follow along with me if you'd like, or you can just sit back and watch it inside the growth group. But to access your challenges, you can hit five on your keyboard. Five on your keyboard will navigate to there. If I was to hit four on my keyboard, it would take me to my plan. So five is my keyboard shortcut for my challenges. If this is your first time checking out the challenges page, I want to let you know that we have four deep dive challenges right now. They're 5-day challenges, really focused. They're video related. So 5 days talking about five different objectives, learning objectives. These tasks are designed with social learning involved, and they're also designed to help you integrate into using the actual tools in the product. So even if you're a free member and you don't have a paid account, you can take these challenges to get used to using the app, like journaling, putting in goals, like sharing to the community. You can do these things for free and you can still watch the content from going in here. So I think this is a really good thing, important thing to know as you begin. Or if you wanted to invite your friends to take a challenge with you, you could totally do that. So you can have a peer group as you take on these new challenges. So as we come in, there's clarity challenge, the confidence challenge, the high five challenge with Mel Robbins, in the identity shift challenge. So the first one that I'm going to go into is the clarity challenge. Already 18,000 people have gone through this challenge, and it's a 5-day challenge. So I'm going to click join challenge, and I'm going to show you what this looks like here. As I come into the challenge, what it's going to first give me is an orientation to what the challenge is. You have your task, your daily objectives that you need to do. So I have my day one, I have my day two, my day three, and day four, and day five. Now, all these are locked because we want you to follow along the steps. And now each day, there's a little timer that shows up. There's a little timer that shows up right here in the top right corner. This is going to keep you on track. So you have 22 hours to complete only 3 of these tasks. You'll watch the video where Brennan's talking about, let's see, building clarity, what that means, what that looks like. So it's an 8-minute video, so not too long. And then you can come in and you can journal about what you just learned. And then after you journal, all of your entries will actually show up inside of your journal. Now, even if you don't have an account, you can do all your journaling here. And then you could go back and see that these entries are in your journal. So when you do sign up, you'll have them there ready to go. So we're just trying to give you a taste of some of these new embedded experiences as well. Cool, cool, cool. Ah, yes. Cool. Thanks, team, for chatting away. There was one message inside the chat where one of our members just said that they go through the challenge multiple times. I think that's actually a really good pattern because when you can go through and maybe do this on a quarterly or yearly basis, where you have that moment to step into confidence, step into clarity, step into an identity shift, initiative, it's a good way to just get locked back in to really good, solid practices, personal development practices, and just get after it. But if we were to bring this back, you have your journal. You can write about your journal. And you'll notice one thing that's really different about this journal than the journal that you get when you go into the core pillar is that we've stripped the high performance growth prompts from the bottom of these journals. So we're really just encouraging you to focus on these questions. So you could just copy these in, paste them in, and then you can just start writing your response there. So when you think of yourself today, what are the 3 words that best describe who you are? What would you choose these words? So, like, for example, might choose I'm passionate and creative and consistent. And these 3 words, I think, describe the best of who I am. So I could write this and then I could go through the next one, go to the next one, write these out. And then when I'm ready, I can just hit submit and I want to show you what this looks like. So I got a coin, a growth coin for doing my entry, and then you can just see it right underneath. So it's going to keep all of your information in a nice, organized section. And if you haven't done this, it's incredibly powerful. The next thing that you got to do is you got to share this. So we suggest posting your number one lesson learned from today, and then you could just share it across any of these, or you could share it in the community. And then once you're done with that, you hit the check. And then this one already checked because it's integrated into the system. And then on our videos, you do have to select the check because you you watch it, but we want to make sure you're like actually doing the work. And then tomorrow you can come back and do it all over again. So that's how the challenge construct is set up. And it's really helpful to just know that you can do this on your mobile app, you can do this on your web app, and you can get the great experience from both areas. We also inside of your community have comments. These are public comments so that if you wanted to see what other people are doing or you wanted to root for other people in the community, you can do that over here in the sidebar. And then you also have private notes. So for every new challenge you take on, you have new notes, but the comments will be consistent across the entire community. You can see like just 2 hours ago, there's another striver going through the product experience and your notes will still save and your notes will be accessible from your notes pillar. So if that makes sense. I'm going to pause just for some quick questions. Any assists? Yeah, there's a question about growth coins. So I want to just encourage you to keep using or keep building up your growth coins. We are investigating and exploring new ways that you can use those growth coins to access unlocked content that nobody else has access to or other features inside the product experience. So if you have ideas of things that you would like to purchase with your growth coins, those would be really great to hear. So just feel free to reach out to a member of the team or you can shoot it to support@growthday.com. Oh, if I could use my growth coins, I would use them for X, Y, and Z. That would be really helpful. Clarity is a great challenge to dive into building incredible clarity. I love clarity so much because one, it's a high performance habit. So it's good to have really good clarity. Two, it's just great practice to build clarity consistently. Every new project you take on, every new like relationship you have or new thing that you try that you care about and you want to do, clarity is one of those things that you got to start. You got to ask those questions. You got to build a disciplined approach for how you're going to have very clear vision about what it is that you're doing and what it is you want. And I like the clarity challenge because it first starts with answering like, who are you and what do you like, how do you identify? And I think that's a really good like entry path into personal development. So I would recommend a clarity challenge for new strivers coming to the platform. Now let's take a look at our confidence challenge. 26,000 people have taken the confidence challenge. So let's just dive into this. Let's go. So when we do start these challenges, we welcome people with welcome video. We'll let you know. So you can watch a video to get into the tool. Then as you go through the same structure, if you're looking at these challenges, every time you come in, it's the same structure. So you're not going to have to reorient yourself. You can come in and you can start doing the work, understanding the content, understanding the challenge, the questions from the journal. And then in this specific daily list of tasks, we have another goal or another task to have you write out a goal. So in this one, if I was 5 times more confident in my ability to figure things out and manifest my dreams, what's one goal I would be willing to dream up and take on? Use this goal feature to create the goal and add any focus areas or due dates. Make a goal and go for it. I love how it's just embedded into the products because what I can do now is a I want to produce a UX product and life coaching conference. I add this. So it's like one day I want to produce a UX, like a user experience, a product maker, and a life like coaching conference. So bring in together product makers and creators and people that are really fascinated about technology and just have a designated place for a conference, something I want to do. So what I can do is I just created that specific goal. Then I get these 3 little focus areas, selecting a date and selecting a plan. So if I had already been a member in the product, I can go over here and choose like focus areas. So this focus, I would say it's more about courage because I'm going to do a lot of coordination with a lot of people. I'm going to need to have a ton of influence. And then I'm going to need clarity on the outcomes of this conference. So I can just confirm. Now they're underneath. Another thing I want to add in here, again, I'm just clicking on the row here to be able to pull this other window up. I can choose a due date. So maybe it's by the end of 2023. I want to have this goal completed. And then my plan, I can go ahead and select any other plan. So like last week, if you're here in my growth group last week, I had a ramp up June. I can go ahead and select that ramp up June and just remember that I want to have this connected. So now already, it wasn't just about me creating one goal. It was about me creating a goal and then adding intention behind it. I have my courage, my influence, my clarity. And now I have my due date, which is going to give me accountability. And then I have a plan that's also going to help drive this goal forward. So when I have my daily reminders to connect to my ramp up June plan, I'm going to get these daily notifications about ramping up June. And it's going to trigger something in my brain that's going to help me remember that I got this conference that I want to schedule or plan for over the year. I hope that makes sense. If you haven't yet done this functionality is inside of your growth profile. You can get to your growth profile by going up to your navigation, clicking your avatar in the header, and then clicking profile. And then you can go into it and create as many goals as you want and create little milestones. And you can create due dates, focus areas, and connect these to your plan. It's pretty cool functionality. All right, great. It's embedded. I already showed you what this one was for. Let's just say I've created that. And again, you can just copy and paste the entries, come in, tab over, and just fill them out. So why is developing more confidence important to you at the stage of your life? Because I want to be confident. I want to be confident in how I live my life. These little details matter. All right. And then you can bold it, you can italicize it. It's all in line. And then you can just submit it when you got it going. Get your coin. And then look at that. We already accomplished day one, and now we're good to go. 4 of 4 completed. So hopefully you get an idea of the confidence challenge, a really powerful confidence challenge to go through and to finish each one of these steps. Now, again, if you have already If you've already completed these challenges, remember you can come back to this when you're feeling a little bit less confident about things. Or if you just want to be able to tap in and go through a 5-day reboot, get you back into the game, these challenges can be a great opportunity for you to do that. Cool. So that's two challenges in our repertoire. There they are. And I can see the progress that we're making towards these milestones. Now let's tap in to the high five challenge. 173,000 people have gone through this challenge. So I'm going to join this one. This is based off of Mel Robbins' High Five Challenge book. And so what she's doing is she's given a really good foundational overview of what her challenge is all about. And then she goes through her training. After you go through the training, you can mark it complete. And then you can come back down and do the journaling homework. You can go through the challenge prompts, you copying and pasting the whole prompt into the notes so that I can see the prompt. And then I can hit command on my Mac, command return, and it will submit the button. So that's command return. And I'll show you in my journal here in a second how all these show up in the journal. I can come in. I can also, it's ask me to post a comment in the sidebar so I can just read what the question is and I can go over it and just fill it in. And look, you can also add images or links and other elements to your comments just if you need to add a little bit more context there. I can just mark them as complete when I'm done. And I can also share across these different social medias, mark them as done when I'm done with them. And there we go. And now I finished day one. And that's the high five challenge, day one. Pretty cool. We do offer different ways to share these. If you want to share this challenge out to your friends, you can also leave the challenge, which no reason really to leave it once you join it. Get after it, get it done. So we'll come back to the challenge. So that's 3 down. Now I want to show you the latest challenge that we have. And we also have a couple other challenges that are getting ready to also be released, but can't share them yet, but stay tuned. But this one's a really awesome one too by Anthony Trucks, one of our Growth Day coaches. So if I was to join this challenge, I'm going to join the challenge, building in your identity shift momentum. So let me just pause the video. So here, Anthony talks about shifting your mindset and habits to succeed in life on a whole new level. He's also referring to really just tapping in to doing the dark work, and he calls it the dark work, and getting honest with yourself about who you are and who you want to be. And I always appreciate Anthony's trainings because he just goes into straight frameworks. So here you can actually see he's going to teach you a framework every single day, and he's going to give you some really good practicing tips to help you build into that identity and that confidence that you really want and really maybe desire. And I just really appreciate Anthony and everything he's done for the platform too. But Anthony's a great instructor, and you can come in after you finish his course. You can come in, check it. You can do the journal assignment. So you can just copy the prompt, come in, and the prompt is, what lesson did I learn and what's on my mind? What's coming to heart? And I want to journal on this. This is more of an open ended journal about what it is I'm learning. What things am I going through? And you can submit those. There we go. And then you can share your response. So after you go through these, and you might have noticed there's a little indicator at the very bottom. This is our gamification side of Growth Day. This allows you, after you get 5 tasks done. So I've already completed, let's see, 1, 2, or 3. After I get 2 more into the day 2, I'm going to get a bronze badge. And if you didn't know, if you go over to the profile, you can see all of the badges that you've earned. So let me actually show you what that looks like. So I'll move over into this. Nice, nice. Love to hear that about Anthony. I'm going to go over into my growth profile. And just like I was showing you, the goal that I created inside of that challenge is now my number one goal that's showing up in the header here. So it's produce a UX product life coaching conference. That was something that I did inside of the challenge. So that's how we're integrating these things so that you don't have to duplicate and copy and paste them and move them around. You building it as you go here in the platform. Awesome. All right. Here we go. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. And now from an achievements perspective, I did just start all these achievements. So that's why you see 4 bronze medals I'm working towards. If I go over into my badges, you can see, okay, once this challenge came out and got it done on December 30th, 2021. And you can see the other challenges that I've accomplished. And then all my other streaks, journal streaks that I've done throughout my life scores and journals. So it's really awesome. Really great to show your progress. Let's see, Alita, do you have a question? If you do, or if you're just saying holler, just feel free to put it in the chat. Okay, cool. So today we just went through some very high level challenges. I hope that all the challenges make sense. Like you have those at your fingertips. I'm going to come back to you real quick and stop sharing for a second. It's another huge opportunity inside the Growth Day app to tap into these challenges when you're feeling like unmotivated, when you're feeling lack of confidence, when you're feeling a lack of connection to your identity and who you are. Maybe you've gone through a ton of things and you're trying to get back in the game. These challenges can be good ways that you can do these sort social learning activities as a group together with your friends, with your family, with your team. Come through and go through them together. And you can connect with the people inside of the community so that you can feel like you're going through these things together and growing together. So that's the power of the challenges: integrated journal, integrated goals, integrated sharing, posting and commenting and taking notes. You're also, all of those will also be up in your notes section when you come back to it. Now, if I was to go over into my journal, I just want to quickly show you. I'm just going to share my screen one more time. Now, all the journal entries that I made during the challenge are also showing up with the timestamp of today. So I have the prompts that I already had written down, and they're all right there in my journal entries for today. So another great example of how they're all deeply connected. I wanted to just talk about just challenges in general. Like how many of you right now, you can raise your hand by just saying raise your hand in the purple bar at the bottom. You can raise your hand. How many of you right now are going through some form of a challenge in your life right now? Some form of challenge. I'm going to raise. Yep, yep. Everybody's like a lot of challenges, right? So everybody's going through some challenges. Right? Challenges come and go during certain seasons of our life. Right now, we're in Q2. We're finishing this month is the end of Q2 for a lot of us that do our like quarterly planning. And you know what? They're already just in the 8 days of June have been so many like unique challenges and things that we face. And I think it's just one thing to just anchor ourselves in knowing like in life, in our personal development, we're going to have seasons where there's a lot of challenges. We're going to have seasons where there's a lot of like just obstacles in our way, obstacles of things we need to work through family, through life, through our training, through whatever it is. We get sick, we get an injury. We were expecting one outcome and another outcome came to us. We were expecting one plan and somebody pulled out that plan underneath our feet. And now we have to repivot and do that whole adaptability and resilience thing and figure out like where we're going to play. And I think of like, these are things that happen all the time, right? Challenges. But I think when we can actually learn to work through these challenges, these obstacles, and turn and reframe those into opportunities, opportunities for us to learn, opportunities for us to develop ourselves on another level. And really, okay, this challenge that we're bringing in, the same thing, like all four of those challenges I just went through, they really tap in on a certain topic, right? The challenge of confidence, the challenge of high fiving yourself because maybe you're lacking that self love of feeling like you're doing your thing, you're on your right path and not feeling maybe fulfilled. The challenge of the identity problem where you're feeling like you're not really yourself or you don't really know who you are and just working through that. So we all have these different challenges, right? But the thing is, I think we can design challenges in a way, even new challenges that can give us the leg up or give us like this momentum of taking on things that really stretch us, that really push us. And I like to think of this not in a negative way or like thinking about it's going to be really difficult. It's really hard. I like the challenge of stretching our abilities, like thinking of where we currently are, thinking about, well, if I was 10 times better than what I am today in all areas of my life, what would that look like? And I'm like, what kind of challenges or obstacles or things would I have to overcome in order to be that 10x version of myself? And I started thinking about, okay, I could be a better communicator. I could be a better collaborator. I could be a better systematizer. I could be a better uniter. I could be a better husband, a better parent. I could be better at everything. And I love the thought of the separation of where I currently am to thinking about where I can go. And I could remember 15 years ago or 16, 17 years ago when I first started in my career in design. And I'm like, this is going to be one heck of a journey in front of me. This is going to be wild. I'm going to go to the school. I'm going to try to learn these things. It's going to be a challenge. We had no idea like what the was going to happen in the market, what was going to happen in the industry, where design and product and building things were going to be so valuable. But the thing is, like, one thing that always rang true in these challenges for me was I need to have the ability to learn continuously. I need to be able to have an open mind to continuously learn and to continuously develop. Challenges are a great way for you to just develop yourself. It's not like a way to call out and judge you. It's a way for you to level set and to get better at whatever it is that you're going through. Because you'll notice that one day you'll go through a challenge, you're going through specific things right now in your life. So it's relevant to the things in your life right now. A year from now, when you go through it again, you're going to be going through different things. You might not have those same problems, but you might have gone through them. So you know how to prepare, you know how to be proactive about improving the situation that you're in so that you don't make the same mistakes or just so you're more prepared going through it again. Like we build products and services here at GrowthDay. We've gone through so many products and development life cycles, like thousands of times where thousands of sprints where you go through this process. And, oh yeah, I know that if I don't get buy-in from my team before I share this plan out, that it's not going to land so well. Oh, I know that if I set up my team for success and help them prepare for a moment that they're going to be presenting in another week or another day, if I can help prepare them before, they're going to be set up for success for those moments. You start to learn where you can be a better leader, a better manager. It's the same thing with challenging yourself, thinking about, okay, where do I want to be? What do I want to do? And what kind of challenges can I take on? So personal development and growth. Here's a quick little breakdown. You can copy this into your notes. So, like when we do think about personal development and growth, right? Challenges push us out of our comfort zones and they force us to learn and adapt. By taking on challenges, we develop new skills, expand our knowledge, and discover our capabilities. These are just like these are reasons why taking on challenges is not like a bad thing. It's an opportunity to work on your continuous personal development and to help you reach your full potential, right? Just a reminder, like that's why we do challenges. This is why we take these on. What does challenges do? It helps us expand ourselves. It stretches us. When we're lifting and we're stretching that muscle and get it tight, we're working through these things. It's like stepping outside of your comfort zone is where this like real growth happens. You'll notice that you do the homework in the challenges, or if you create your own homework for your own challenges and you start just integrating, you got a challenge coming up you want to improve the way that you're taking this on, you could journal about it. You could think about, hey, I'm going through this big thing right now. How could I break it down into 5 steps where every day I'm going to work on this specific thing? I'm going to improve. I'm going to stretch myself. I'm going to get after it. You can use the same model and same learning structure as what we have inside the Growth Day app to design your own challenge inside the plan tool. So you could have a specific thing. It could be like, for example, we're planning and architecting our summer vacation, where we're going to go and how we're going to do it. My kid's coming out of school and we're trying to really coordinate how we're going to make this happen. So we have a plan for where we want to go. We have different opportunities and activities that we could do inside that. And then, so another version of that might be like, okay, what are the things that are still unknown? And how could I design this in 5 days to really close the gap on what we need to do? Day one, day two, day three, day four, day five, journal about each of those days. What are the objectives? And you could start designing almost your own curriculum, your own framework for how it is that you're going to actually go in and execute it. You don't have to be a learning scientist to create your own growth plan or to create a challenge by design from yourself to improve a certain situation or outcome or something that you're working towards. Like you can do that. And I think that's like something that's really helped me in my career in striving for things is because I would give myself challenges. Be like, oh, somebody gave me this new project. Could I do it in 2 weeks? Could I do it in 4 weeks? Could I do it in 1 week? What would that look like? How could I break it down? Oh, they want this proof of concept for this. How could I instead of it being due in 2 weeks, how can I make it due in 3 days, get feedback, and then make it better, better, better over the next 2 weeks? So there's different ways to look at challenges, different ways to break it down. I hope that's getting the ball rolling for you. Okay, cool. Thanks. Thanks, Jacqueline. And then this other one that like I absolutely love is just with challenges is achieving meaningful goals. Achieving meaningful goals, what does that look like? Challenges often come in form of pursuing goals that are most important to us, right? We have things that are important to us, yes. Now, whether it's starting a business, learning a new skill, or overcoming a personal obstacle, challenges motivate us to work towards something meaningful. I think that's again, if you can tie in the challenges that you take on with something internally that's happening to you, and then raising your necessity about why it is that you want to take it on, right? Necessity is one of the high performance habits. So you're practicing that. If you're doing your daily, weekly, or monthly life scores, then you're going to have some form of necessity benchmarks. Go in and look at your scores from the last year. See how you've been performing on necessity. If you're low in necessity, it means like maybe before you start big new goals, big new objectives, big new plans, that you want to raise up your intentionality for why it's important that you're doing the things that you do. Whether it's you're starting a new project, whether it's you're starting a new career, whether it's you're starting a new relationship with somebody, think about the intention and the purpose of what it is that you want to build with this person or this project or this plan or this thing. Build up some next level intentionality and just really dial in the why, like how this is supposed to feel. What are we trying to do? Bring in some of that good energy into like what it is that you're trying to fulfill. Like, what is it? And that clarity and that necessity, bringing that together is what's going to fuel you every day and waking up and just having some purpose as you work towards these challenges. Why am I doing this? I want to support my family. I want to support my team. If you don't have a way to document this or look back at it, that's exactly what you can do. You can go over to the profile, which I'll show you right now, actually. Let me just take you over there. For some of you who haven't seen the growth profile, you can click the top navigation, hit profile. Here we go. And see, all right. And then right here, as we zoom in, I have my big Y. And these are the triggers in my brain or the triggers for me to know what I want to have high necessity for in my life and the things that I do. Now, I want to encourage you after you go through some of the challenges that you had, like this 4 challenges I showed you today, you can come in here because you're going to have a lot more clarity from the journaling that you're going to do from Anthony Trux's challenge. You're going to have a lot more confidence from Brennan's challenge. You're going to have a lot more clarity from Brennan's challenge, and you're going to have even more zest and a high five energy from Mel Robbins' challenge. You come back in here, you write your big why, you start looking about where do you want to focus? Where do you want to like really dial it in this year or this month? And then you can work through that content and that structure, and then you're going to be good to go. So I'm going to come back out of sharing. Just want to encourage you to really tap into the full gamut of the products, like the full user experience. Like they'll take a back seat on your personal development. All right. So I talked a little bit about the challenges today. I talked about designing your own challenges. Just remember, like when you're feeling stuck or when you're feeling blocked, don't go through that alone, right? Reach out, use this platform, tap into the challenges, tap into other peer groups, start a growth group, join a growth group, come in here and journal about what's going on and what the challenges you're facing. And just know that you're not alone. You're not alone during these challenges. Like we all, like early at the beginning of the call, we all raised our hand. Like we're all going through certain challenges right now. And that's a season of life. Things happen. When one team member is going through a challenge, right, you're going to jump in and support them. And then when you're going through it, you're going to hope that somebody supports you during those times. So challenges are actually okay. Ah, yes. Thanks, Max. Appreciate it. So, what I want to do now is just completely shift gears. We talked about challenges. I want to hear what your questions are. So, what kind of questions do you have about challenges or about designing your challenges? Or do you need help designing a challenge right now on the spot? You have a challenge, a problem, and you're trying to figure out how to either design your way out of it or design a plan, a growth plan for you to get back on track. Feel free to chat away your questions or put the questions in the chat and let's talk about it. All right. So figuring out what to do next, working on a big goal for a long time, lots of space and time has opened up for me. So you have a lot more bandwidth? Is that what I'm hearing? Ooh, that's great. Okay. So let's take this over into let's take this over into the plan tool. I'm going to go to create a plan and I'm going to call this, or here, I'm going to actually see. Yeah. Time working on a big goal. So if we were to do this, let's see, big goal, lots of times. Yeah. Right on. Okay. So big plan, lots of time. So maybe its plan is managing its time management. And I'm going to give this a little plant. Okay. Just like for any time management things, I like setting reminders for this. So you could set a reminder if this is something that you want to start building a new habit about this immediately because you have more time, you want to get more focus. You could do a daily or a weekly. So you get reminded on what's today? Thursdays. You can just remind on Thursdays, or you could be like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to go even more to build that new habit, to build that new structure, right? 10 a.m.s. Maybe you're an earlier bird. We'll give you 9 a.m.s. All right, cool. So we're going to set a due date for this to the end of the month. We're trying to build a new habit. Let's see here. We got from the 8th. So we got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22 days of habit building. All right. So let's think about this. We got 22 days habit building. You got a lot of new time on your hands. Where are we going to start? I'm going to first start with just what the prompt was. I got to figure out what to do next. I got to work on a big goal. I've been working on a big goal for a long time. So lots of spaces opened up for me. Okay. This is something that I think we all probably have gone through where we got more time for something. Then I would come back in to just really breaking down like priorities, purpose, and kryptonite. Now, the reason why I put these 2, 3 things down at first is because I want to understand, like, from A to Z list, what are my priorities right now? So it might be like fitness. I'm just making up examples. So I have a fitness goals. I got A to Z health and wellness, maybe certain things in health and wellness. I got A to Z things I want to learn in tech or AI, different ways to improve my productivity and my work skills. I have new peer groups I want to engage with because it's not just meeting people is great, but meeting people that also share similar things that you enjoy, similar hobbies, similar ambitions or values or principles. That's like a compound effect, right? We want to be around people that share similar like ambition too, because when you're working towards things together, I talked about this last week, you can be so much more productive and efficient when you're working with like minded people. It doesn't mean you have to think the same. It just means your ambition is at the same kind of bar. So these are just examples. And then let me just return that. And then, so that's maybe like priorities. I'd want to figure out what are all the priorities from this. And I might also, if I'm a business owner, then I might want to know what are my revenue stream opportunities. And I want to know like A to Z passions. I want to know A to Z like challenges because I want to know what my kryptonite is. So I know that with this extra time that I have, what am I going to be able to work on so that I can get better at something? What are my passions so I can make sure that I'm working towards things that are actually going to bring me fun, joy, love, and excitement? That's my passion. It's going to connect with me. I need to know how to make money so I can sustain the dream and do the things that I love to do. I need to connect with peers, get elevated with challenging me the way that I think. I might want to learn more things about tech and AI because it's growing. Always health, always wellness, fitness. Got it. Okay, great. So I got like a general idea of those things, right? Which already created a big level of clarity around that. Let me see what y'all were saying in the chat. Cool, cool. Let me just, okay, okay. And then let's just dive into this and I'll come back to Abisha's question in the chat too. So I got more time management challenge. Gonna figure out what to do next. So I would do my homework. I would journal about my priorities and all the things I just plopped in here in the sidebar. Kim, if you want to take a screenshot, now would be a good time to do it. If you want to, you can always check this video at a later time. So we got these are the things I want to understand my priorities for. I understand a little bit more about my purpose. I want to understand a little bit about the challenges or the things that are getting in my way. Great. Now I want to raise my ambition. Let's see here. I'll just do say raise ambition by like how might I raise my ambition? I might take on a new responsibility, or I might take on build a new relationship, or I might start a new project, or I might collaborate with another striver on a code project. So I would maybe do a co-design and work on something together. Think about what your ambition is. Like I was telling you earlier, one of my big ambitions is to create a design and product conference. Another big ambition is to literally make a docu-series TV show or like a reality show about the maker and creator lifestyle. What does that look like? What does that feel like to be a creative in the world of technology, in the world of social media? Growing up from a 13-year-old, 14, 15, 16, 17, what does that even look like to transform? I just have so much passion around that. I know I want to do it. That's the ambition. I know I want to do that one day. I want to make Growth Day the world's best personal development app in the world, just constantly making it better every single time we release some code in the product. That's ambition. Like I love doing that. It's a passion of mine. It's a joy to serve this product and this team. Ambition. So you got a time management challenge. Let's tap back into ambition. Let's tap back into priorities. Let's understand the purpose. Let's understand the kryptonite. And now we got to start thinking about, okay, if I got extra time, how are my systems, my rituals, my routines? How are those today? How are my current systems, rituals, routines? What needs to be optimized? Where am I? Where, if I'm going to introduce something new with my time, how can I make sure that I integrate this into a time, like into a window of time that makes sense, that's not going to throw me off my game, that's going to keep me super laser focused and structured. Like those are also very important. It's going to help me make sure that I'm not, whatever I introduce into my life is not going to just derail me and create more challenges. You have a challenge because you have time. You don't want to create more challenges from designing something that's not integrated into your lifestyle or into your work. Systems, rituals, routines, knowing what those things are. When are you going to tackle those? How are you going to make it work? And I think like I would do that. And then from there, then I would create a 1.0 plan, a MVP plan, which is a minimal viable plan. You could just call it minimal viable plan. I'd create a 1.0 plan, and then I would create like a 2.0 and a 3.0. Because typically when you start something new, if you're only going to do it for like a month or two, it might not be worth your time. But if you're thinking about something bigger for a business or something, you want to think about something you would want to do and you would love, enjoy doing it for like at least 3 years, at least. So maybe you have a 1.0, 2.0, and a 3.0 plan for this. Then I would break down for each of those plans, what are the 5 things that I could do to help move that forward in that plan? And I think of those as like advancements because I just don't want to know like these little tiny things. And I would basically design my systems, my rituals, routines, and ingest those those moments inside of my plan one. What could I accomplish in my plan one, my plan two, plan three? I hope this was helpful. This was a really quick example of how to leverage that and integrate a plan. So the question was, does anyone work on creative personal projects outside of work? I work 9 hours Monday through Friday, and I plan working on my projects for 2 hours Monday through Thursday and weekends. I'm basically running around to get errands done, working out, and hopefully squeeze some fun in. Anyone have any recommendations on making time for rest? Definitely a part of my work life balance. Great question. As a creator, as like a creative, you're designing things, you're making things. A lot of my friends ask me to do side projects and with them all the time. Now, earlier in my career, I would just like absolutely have all sorts of things running and multiple projects going on. And for me, that Monday through Friday time that you have to protect for your current like day job, they're paying you, you have to work towards it. It's thinking about what Kim was saying, like maybe you front load an hour before you actually even go to work. So you're waking up, maybe you wake up at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. Maybe you wake up at 5 a.m. and you just bucket that time but you go to bed by 9 or 10 at night so that you have a fresh body, fresh mind, fresh spirit in the morning so you can go and tackle those side projects in the morning. That way, like you don't have to go throughout your entire day worrying about, oh, I don't know when I'm going to get to this project. Because if it's a really important project that you want to move forward and you want to get that extra rep, you want to get that extra experience from a creative perspective, then you want to make time. And like Britta was saying, like putting maybe away social media or extra video or extra TV time and putting that time towards like creative time. That's something that's worked really well for me in my career. And it's just, if you look at the time and you break down like your 24 hours, like there's plenty of time to fit in an extra 2 hours a day for something that is really important to you. And then if you are still struggling with that time, then it's about getting alignment from the people that you either live with or the people that might be able to support you so that you're on the same page with the time that you need to be able to execute the projects that are really important to you so you can make the extra bucks or you can build that extra experience that you really need. So it's like really optimizing your rhythms, your rituals, your routines, finding time either before or after, front loading the time. But if you have if you're at your day job and you're having to do a lot of context switching, I wouldn't recommend that because it'll stress you out because you're doing multitasking. So really try to, when you clock in, like focus on what it is that you need to get done. And then if you even plan for it, then you can use that 2 hours and do a lot more work and get it through the funnel. Really, I live by these rituals, routines, these habits in the morning. But you know what? Sometimes I go to bed late, but you build the muscle, build the habit of owning your calendar and scheduling and setting boundaries around that. So your time is so critical and so valuable. It's gonna serve you in the long run. Please feel free to reach out to me on social media or DM me inside the community if you have any other questions about anything that we talked about today. I hope that y'all got something out of these challenge talks. I hope you feel a little bit more motivated at taking on challenges and designing your own challenges. And guess what? We got to walk through building a challenge plan when you feel stuck about time management and what you can do about it, and just giving you a little bit of a taste of the power of creating your own growth systems inside the plan tool, but also tapping into the challenges that are there for you to retake in as many times as you need to develop yourself, to elevate, to get community support, to have a community to really just to be there for you. That's what Growth Day is all about. So thank you all for attending today. And please feel free to share this link or share our next upcoming growth group with other strivers if you want to bring them into the platform. That way, we can just keep building our team, building our audience, and building this birthday platform. Appreciate any shares that you give me and any feedback as well. Love the feedback too. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, Marlene. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Alita. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Lacey, Helen, Bish, Jacqueline. I appreciate you all so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. Later. Bye.